The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Jets going up against the Texans.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Straight ahead, we punch the second of two tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Jets and the Houston Texans. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
Tremendous overall athlete, does everything that you're looking for. Big time in the quarterback run game against their better opponents, but can also operate skillfully from the pocket and can beat you with his mind as well.
Watson, off play action. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Come on, let's go! 190!
Off of play action, it's Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Throwing again is Watson. They find some open field here. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Come on, let's go!
From the gun, here's Watson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down. Would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it. They got it.
So much for defense in this situation because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't really rush on that one. You almost concede. If they want to kick a long one like that and make it, so be it. You just don't give up the fake. Yet they did anyway. Poor execution on the defensive side.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second down now after the incompletion. And a give this time to the tailback. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, it's Waters. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Out of the gun, Watson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Extra point attempt to come here. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6". Down. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. West over the middle, complete. That's Reese. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
We have played a quarter here in this AFC Divisional playoff. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 23. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Jets set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Right back to Booker. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play. On 3rd down, West throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Trying to go back to Watkins, and it's 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their 1st drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. 3rd and 2. Watson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And this is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So 2nd and 10 here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
Throwing on 3rd down. Watson. It's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Throwing on 1st down. West. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Let's go, Leopard. Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Texans have controlled the flow, but it hasn't given them a big advantage. The Jets won't care how much their offense is on the field as long as they find a way to advance in these playoffs. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. At the end of the first quarter, Nash is going to make the catch near the sidelines. And after the short pass, he'll score. That puts them up by a touchdown. Texans have it early in the second. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This goes for a loss of 9. Texans have it later on the drive. Defense will get to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. So that's going to do it for us. We'll send you back now to field level for some more playoff football.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll hand off to Booker, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Running again, and again it's Booker. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. 38.
Back to throw, Watson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. To throw on second down. West. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Back to throw. West. He finds Brown, complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, West. Throw left side, complete. It's Carlson, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now when he's trying...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hit.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And here comes the Texans now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, second down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one, because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Watson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The 30, 20, 10. And can you believe this? A big mistake leads to a defensive touchdown. And they're a point away from tying this thing up. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in how their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Waters. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here's Booker. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go now.
Booker running left. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. Overtime in a playoff game. Awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
And now back out comes the offense. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Charles, you think back to some of the great OT games in postseason history. There have been a lot of them. I think in January 2016, Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers, but the Cardinals were able to survive that game.
Yeah, you need a Larry Fitzgerald, which the Cardinals had. to trump an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary, and they did so. But let's go back. 1982. Okay, don't say it. I know I'm the old guy here. But San Diego at Miami, one of the classic NFL games that was finally decided in overtime. Dan Fouts to Kellen Winslow, and the Chargers advance to the AFC Championship game.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On the carry, it's Booker. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes courage and play calling. You're actually setting something up for later in the game, and just because it was unsuccessful then doesn't mean it won't be successful later.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a first throw here in overtime. Got his man complete over the middle. That's King. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, West. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll run with Booker, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards. And now 1st and 15. Running left, this is Booker. And he's got room. Open space inside the 10. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on in the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.